So far you have seen how to set up Playwright with TypeScript test automation, and also you have seen how to record and play the Playwright and TypeScript automation test. In this Playwright tutorial, we are going to discuss about how to write first Playwright TypeScript automation test. So in this video, I will discuss firstly the manual test scenario, then we will automate the manual test scenario, then we will use the pick locator to identify the locator value, and then we will run the test. Finally, we will check the Playwright test report. Let's discuss the manual test scenario first. So here I will firstly open the browser like this, then we will go to the google.com, and here we will search with Playwright by tester stock. Then we will scroll down and we will click on the Playwright by tester stock playlist link, and then here we will validate this web page title, Playwright by tester stock -YouTube. So this is a manual test scenario. Now let's navigate to the VS Code. So let's automate the manual test scenario. In this VS Code, I will firstly create one folder called chapter 1 inside the tests folder. So it will say chapter 1. And inside the chapter 1, I am creating our spec file. So before creating our spec file, so I will move the recorded test into the chapter 1. So that's it. Now I will rename this file as 01 underscore record test.specfile.ts. That's it. Now let's create our fresh spec file. We will write the very first Playwright with TypeScript automation test. So it's very simple. You can directly click on this icon to create a new spec file. So here I'll say 02 underscore first test dot spec.ts. So every spec file should end with the .ts. So that's it. So what and all we are going to do in this spec file is it's very simple. Already we have discussed the manual test scenario, and as per that we will write our Playwright automation code. So firstly what you need to do is, firstly you need to import the Playwright module. Then we will write the test. Then within a test, firstly we will go to the URL. Then once we navigated to the URL, we are going to search with the keywords. So here I'll say search with keywords. Then we will click on the playlist. Then finally we will validate the web page title. So here I'll say validate web page title. So this is our very simple manual test scenario. So let's start with importing the Playwright module. So to import the Playwright module, so you need to write import and followed by object, and from here you need to specify the @playwright/test, and then here inside the object you need to specify the two things. One is first is test. So this is a function, and another one is the expect. So by using expect, we will write the assertions where we are comparing the actual and expected values. By using the test, we are going to implement the test cases. Now we are done with importing the Playwright module in the current spec file. Now let's write a test by using the test. So simply copy this and simply here you need to add the test, and this will accept two arguments. One is a test case title and another one is the asynchronous function. So here I will specify the first argument, that is the test case description as my first Playwright TypeScript test. That's it. Then I will specify the asynchronous function here. Asynchronous arrow function. That's it. And here this asynchronous function will accept the browser page object. So that's the reason simply I will specify the page here. So by using the page only, we can navigate to the any URL and then we can start performing the actions. So that's the reason I am getting the browser page object in the asynchronous function. That's it. So it is very simple. So far what we have done is just we have imported the Playwright module. Then we have written a simple test without any steps. So let's implement all these steps now. So firstly, we will navigate to the URL. That's the google.com, right? So I will use the page object. So before using the page object, so here I'm using the one keyword called await, followed by page dot go to is a function which will accept the URL. So here you need to specify the URL as a string here. So simply I will go to my browser and I will copy the URL. So this is the URL, base URL what we have, and I'll copy it and I'll paste it here. That's it. Very simple now. Next, we have to search with the keywords, right? Now, if I need to search with the keywords here, if I need to enter something in this input text box or a text area, I need to identify this element, right? So we will start using the pick locator to identify this element selector value. Let's go to the VS Code and let's start using the pick locator. Here you can go to the testing icon and then simply you need to click on the pick locator. And if you see here, so it has opened the separate browser here. So let me minimize a bit this one. And if you see here, after clicking on the pick locator, it has opened the browser here. So simply I will enter the google.com here. Then here we want to identify this particular search text box, right? So simply you need to click on that. After clicking on that, and if you see here in the VS Code, so already it has identified the locator value. And if you press the enter, it will copy this locator. And if you press escape to cancel the identified locator. So let's accept this locator value by pressing the enter here. So from the keyboard, simply you need to press the enter. So now we have copied the locator value to identify the search text box. Now I will use the await followed by page dot, then simply I will paste it. That's it. So here we are identifying the search text box by using the label. Then here we want to enter the search keywords. You can enter or type anything in the input field by using the method called fill. So here I'll write simply playwright by testers talk. That's it. Then I will put the semicolon at the end. So semicolon is not a mandatory one. It's a optional. If you want, you can put it. Otherwise, you can leave it as it is. We have identified the search text box. Then we are entering the playwright by testers talk. So let's say here I'm entering the playwright by testers talk. So after entering the search keywords, I am pressing a enter from the keyboard, right? So how you can perform the same action in the playwright is, it is very simple. So here I will go back to the VS Code again. So simply I will copy the above line till we identify the search text box. So after entering the search keywords, I want to press the enter from the keyboard. So it is very simple. You need to call to the one method called press. And this, inside the press, you can pass the all possible values, keyboard values. If you see here, you can pass all the keyboard values here. So in our case, we will pass the enter. That means we will press the enter. You can press any keys, or you can press page up or down, something like that also. So whatever you are trying to do it from the keyboard, all the possible actions can be done by using the press function. So in our case, simply we are pressing the enter from the keyboard after entering the search text box. That's it. It's very simple. Now let's click on the playlist link. So we have to identify the again locator value. So let's click on the browser where we have opened it. So I need to search it with the playwright by testers talk. So simply I will copy this text. Then I'll bring up here. So that's it. Now I need to identify the playwright by testers talk playlist link. To again identify this locator, simply you need to click on the again pick locator, right? After clicking on pick locator, simply hover the mouse on the link where we want to click on. So if you see here, so I simply am selecting this, and if I am coming back to the VS Code again, it is showing an option to accept the locator value. Simply I will press the enter. Then it is copied the locator value. So here again I will use the await followed by page dot, then paste the locator. So we need to click on this particular link, right? How you can perform the click operation in Playwright is, it is very simple again. So how you are performing typing or pressing, similar way you can click on the any web page element by calling to the method called click. That's it. To keep this particular locator very simple, what I will do is I will delete all this stuff. That's it. Then here I'll call to the one method called first. So what exactly this will do is, it will identify the link with Playwright by tester stock. Then it performs the action on the very first link. So there might be a possibility this particular link might be present in the multiple places, or it might be matching with multiple elements. In those cases, it will performs the click operation on the first element. So that's it, guys. It's very simple now. Now let's validate the web page title now. So what I will do is, I will go back to our web page. So let's click on the playlist link, and here we need to validate this particular web page title. So that is Playwright by tester stock hyphen YouTube, right? So it is very easy. By using the expect, we can validate the actual and expected results. So again, I am using a await followed by expect, and inside the expect, simply I am passing the page. So this particular page object contains the each and every detail of the current web page. So by default, it will have the page title. So that's the reason here I'm calling to the method called to have title. Here I will specify the expected result. So let me just format it properly. So here we are specifying the actual value. So this page contains the page information. It can be any detail with respect to the page. So it will also have the page title also. So this will gets the page title, current page title, and here I'm specifying the expected current page title. So here I'll say YouTube. So this is our expected page title. That's it, guys. So let me summarize what we have done so far. So this is our Playwright model, what we have imported it. Then we started writing the test by using the browser page object. Firstly, we are navigating to the URL, then searching with the keywords. Then we are clicking on the playlist link. Then finally, we are validating the page title. That's it. So let me format it properly so that it will adjust if there are no spaces specified or something like that. So our test is ready, guys. So now let's run the test. Firstly, it will open the Chrome browser. Then it has entered the URL. Then it is searching with the keywords. Then it has already clicked on the provided link. And if you see here, so our test is passing. And here also you can see that test results. So our test is getting passed successfully. Now let's check the Playwright test report. You can go to the again source folders, and here you can see the one folder called Playwright-report. So you can go to the location of this folder, and here you will see the index.html report. So let's open this report, and here you can see all the execution details. So here you can see how many test cases are there, and how many are passed and how many are failed. And also you can see what is the date and time of this execution and how long it has taken for the execution also. So in our case, only one test case was there, and that is getting passed. And here you can see the spec file also. And inside this particular spec file, you can see the first test case. If you have executed multiple spec files, so you will see the spec files like this multiple. So inside this particular spec file, we have only one test, and here you can see all the steps got executed, and also you can see the browser where exactly our test case got executed also. And here you can see each stepwise execution time also. You can identify what step is taking how long for the execution. So this is how you can write the first Playwright with TypeScript automation test.